There's a quiet question that tends to appear after the panic settles. Not when everything is chaotic, not when you're overwhelmed, but later. When life looks more stable on the outside, and yet inside you hesitate. The question sounds something like this: can I trust myself? After leaving a high control religion, trust is rarely the first thing that returns. Relief might come, anger might come, even clarity might come in small pieces. But self-trust often feels fragile. And if you've noticed that, the second guessing, the internal checking, the subtle fear of getting it wrong again, there is nothing unusual about that. It makes sense. Inside a high control system, trust is externalized. You're taught what is true, what is safe, what is moral, what is dangerous. Over time, your internal signals, your instincts, your doubts, your curiosity are filtered through an authority outside you. And often, those internal signals are treated as suspect, too independent, too emotional, too selfish, too worldly. So you learn something quietly. Do not rely on yourself. Even if that message was never said directly, it was reinforced structurally. When you leave, that external authority disappears, but the internal hesitation remains. You may find yourself asking, is this decision wise? Am I being reckless? Am I overcorrecting? Am I becoming the kind of person I was warned about? This isn't weakness, it's conditioning unwinding. There is usually a deeper fear under the hesitation. What if I'm wrong again? Not wrong about a small choice, wrong about your entire orientation to life. If you once trusted something wholeheartedly and later realized it harmed you, your system becomes cautious. It doesn't want blind trust again. It doesn't want certainty without scrutiny. So, it slows you down. And that slowing down can feel like dysfunction. But it is often protection. Psychiatrist and psychoanalyst John Bowlby, who developed attachment theory, observed that our sense of safety and exploration depends on having a secure base. When that secure base collapses, whether it's a parent, a relationship, or a belief system, our confidence in navigating the world can temporarily shrink. High control religions often function as psychological attachment figures. They tell you, you are safe if you stay. You are unsafe if you leave. When you step away, your nervous system may still react as if you've lost a protective bond, even if intellectually you know you haven't. Rebuilding self-trust, then, is not about forcing confidence. It's about slowly becoming your own secure base. Self-trust is not boldness, it's not certainty, and it's not never making mistakes. Self-trust is the quiet belief that if I make a decision, I can respond to the outcome. It's resilience more than correctness. But when you've been trained to see mistakes as a moral failure, not human learning, trusting yourself can feel dangerous. Because what if you choose wrong again? This is where many people try to compensate. They over-research, they delay decisions, they look for new authorities, they seek reassurance repeatedly. Not because they are incapable, but because they're trying to guarantee safety. The problem is, safety can't be guaranteed, only navigated. Trusting yourself again is not a leap, It's a series of small experiments, small decisions, low-stake choices, moments where you notice, I handle that. You don't start with life-altering commitments. Often it begins with things like choosing how to spend an afternoon, voicing a mild preference, letting yourself change your mind, saying no to something small. Each time you survive one of those moments without collapse, something recalibrates. Your system gathers evidence, not that you are perfect, but that you are capable. Sometimes that evidence appears in hindsight, a moment where you quietly sense what felt right or wrong, even if you questioned yourself at the time. One fear people often have is confusing intuition with rebellion. How do I know I'm not just reacting? This is where slowing down matters. Impulses tend to feel urgent, charged, proving something, and intuition is quieter. It doesn't shout, it doesn't rush, and it doesn't need to win. If you feel compelled to make a dramatic move to feel free, that's usually not self-trust. Self-trust is steady, it allows space, and if you're unsure, waiting is not a failure. Waiting can be wisdom. There is no prize for rebuilding trust quickly. There is no timeline. In fact, moving slowly after leaving control is often a sign of intelligence, not fear. Your system is learning something new. Authority does not have to live outside you, but that shift takes time, and it cannot be bullied into existence. If you are hesitating right now, if you are still checking yourself, if you're unsure whether to rely on your own judgment, consider this. Caution does not mean incapability. It means you've learned how much misaligned certainty can cost. That awareness is not weakness, it's discernment forming. Trusting yourself again will not feel like a dramatic breakthrough. It will feel subtle, a little less checking, a little more breathing room, a decision made without spiraling, a mistake that doesn't become self-punishment. And one day, almost without noticing, you'll realize you are no longer asking permission internally. You are consulting yourself. And that is different. You don't have to force trust. You don't have to prove independence. And you don't have to become fearless. You only need to move at a pace that feels steady. Slowly is not behind. Slowly is stable. And stability is enough for now. Because learning to trust yourself again is not something you prove. It's something that quietly returns.